Congratulations, the captain. What's happening? Because they're nearly finished with Featherstone. Well, what you have to do is go down the Bradford line now and then come back and do the one. And what a... Derek Fox is the captain of Featherstone Rovers, and nervous moments always for these players. Peter Smith, what a great servant he's been for the club over the years. Trevor Clark, one of the Kiwi contingent, and Jeff Gratian there, he's seen it all before, of course. What a day for David Hobbs, a Featherstone man, captain of Bradford Northern, introducing the likes of Ian Wilkinson, Paul Harkin, Kelvin Skerritt and Gerald Cordlin, his first season of rugby league. Steve McGowan, the club's top try scorer last year. Roger Simpson, John Pendlebury, who's played in 2 Lancashire Cup finals. Carl Fairbank. And the 2 teams have been introduced to Mr. Martin Loads, the Senior Free Sales Director of John Smith's Tadcaster Brewery, and Mr. Nigel Scott of Wakefield, the President of the Yorkshire County Rugby League. And the first shock of the day is that Featherstone Rovers have come out in their change strip. I don't ever remember seeing them playing anything other than blue and white hoops, but apparently the players' preference was for red and white, so the fans have got it all wrong today. But I'm sure they'll know which side they're supporting. Excellent atmosphere here at Bass Headingley as David Hobbs kicks off. Well, David Watkins, as always, is alongside me, and this promises to be a terrific Yorkshire County final, David.
It certainly does, because players look forward to the first available silverware, and this is what it means this afternoon to the winners, and so both sides will be a keenly contested battle.
Fox. Peter Smith. Smith playing in his 3rd Yorkshire final. Fox. Gratian trying to skip the ball along the line. Pulls himself free. And the first penalty is awarded for offside against Bradford Northern Steve McGowan. And you've got to have a Lancashire man as referee for a Yorkshire final, and it's Robin Whitfield from Widnes for the 2nd successive year. Safely put away by Fox. And a strong running bell. Clark, the other New Zealander in the side, and already David Hobbs and Glenn Bell trying to sort one another out. Softening up process at the moment.
Well, it is, yes. Both sides will be keen to do well up front, and the only way to do that, of course, is to really go forward.
And although Bradford have fallen on the ball, it's a penalty awarded against them by referee Whitfield for a short-arm tackle, I think, off the ball. So it's Bradford very much on the defensive at the start. Clark and Fox again, good link up, good tackling too, that time by Kelvin Skerritt. But it's a promising start from the Rovers, and there could be a gap here. There's Rapati wriggling in the tackle. Again it's Rapati. Bradford must be wary not to give away a penalty now. Right in front of their own posts. Fast and furious start. And everybody's a bit fired up for this one.
Well, Temple's afraid you're inevitably going to get that early on in the game. Bradford, of course, haven't had the ball at all to start the game. Featherstone have done all the running, and Bradford have been defending. It's getting a little frustrating.
something was said out of turn. Seems ironic that a penalty is awarded for something as simple as that, something as innocuous as that after the fiery start that we've had to the game. But Featherstone with the first opportunity to put points on the board, and in the absence of Mark Napper, who's kicked so many goals for them this season, Derek Fox has the job, and he's the captain, and he won't be nervous. He's seen it all, and he's done it all before. Featherstone have the game's first points. And it's going to be up to David Hobbs as the captain now to settle his team down and say, come on, let's play proper football here, not get involved in all these niggly little incidents.
That's right, they haven't had the ball at all yet. Featherstone have monopolised possession.
And the slip behind Newell have actually fooled Caudle. Gratian, good ball, slipped by Gratian as well, and what a promising start this is from Featherstone. They're running Bradford ragged down this right side, but what a good tackle from Gerald Caudle. Well, the former Cardiff Rugby Union man served his side well with that tackle.
He certainly did, but it's interesting to see that Featherstone are starting, hopefully likely to maintain that pressure. They're moving the ball out well. They've deprived Bradford of possession so far in this game. They haven't had the ball at all to use.
They've got it now. Pendlebury an offside this time against Featherstone, so the first penalty that Bradford have won. And referee Whitfield is stamping down an offside straight away, which is a good sign because we all want to see an open flowing game, and that tends not to happen when sides are too far up.
That's right, a lot depends on the referee, of course. He is well respected in the game, and I would hope that he will keep this up right throughout the game.
Bradford 2 points down. Hamer, first man up, the policeman. Barraclough and Hobbs now. Good ball back for Pendlebury. A little bit greasy down there.
Can you get him back a bit, please? Can you get him back a bit?
Fine tackle there by Gratian. And that's an astute kick from Harkin. That's going to apply more pressure on the Featherstone line. The man who's won the White Rose Trophy in the Yorkshire Cup final. Good scrum for Featherstone to win. Fox, an important role for him to play today. Glenn Bell has started the game well, and another 10 shot for Featherstone. What a good tackle on Chris Bibb. It was by Barraclough. Wilkinson, powerful runner Ian Wilkinson, former Leeds and Halifax man, so he's on familiar ground here at Headingley. Now McGowan, who runs straight, does as well to keep in play. His upper body strength helped him there. Bradford already having to make a change. Just in the corner of your picture there, you can see John Hamer on his way, sadly off the pitch in his first final. So it's going to be an early opportunity for Paul Medley to get into the game. Henjak, the scampering Australian, has won the Bradford fans' admiration in his few weeks with the club. On the last tackle now, and again Harkin might kick. No, he decides to pass, and Simpson goes down that touchline. The ball will go dead, and it'll be a tap on the 25. But interesting that Harkin was willing to run it there on the sixth tackle.
Yes, well he is. Paul is a live wire as a scrum half. He'll be probing all the time. Derek Fox is a more of a general of a player and gets people into the right positions all the time.
So Paul Medley is on. Just look at the strength of those Bradford men, hauling their man straight back towards his own line. They must have dragged Bell, who's no midget himself, about 12 or 15 feet. But it's Medley in the tackle there. He played in the final last year for Leeds, of course. Scored as a sub. Smith slips a good ball. Clark, oh, that was a dangerous one, and Henjak, now aided and abetted by Pendlebury, makes an important tackle. Well fielded by Caudle. Now then, can he go on the outside of his man? He can. And General Caudle goes for the first try of the game, but the referee, I think, is pulling him back. The touch judge apparently ruled that Caudle just stepped into touch. But an encouraging run from the Welshman.
It certainly was. Look at the aggression now. He takes the man on the outside and goes outside him on the outside. A great bit of running. Straightens up, but the referee, the linesman, has already flagged for the ball being into touch, which is disappointing for him and, of course, for Bradford Northern.
To win the scrum again. Rapati. It's the youngest of the Rapati brothers. Was good. The little halfback is Ian Smales. Oh, what great running from Mueller, and terrific strength from Mueller. He's only got Wilkinson to beat now, and he gets the ball back inside, and Bibb spills it. But Mueller showing all his power. He may only be 18 years of age, but he really did show the resourcefulness and the power of somebody far more experienced and mature.
Yes, he certainly was. He was lined up for the tackle. The tackler got to him and held him, but so much was the strength of the player. He pulled out of it completely, and even had the audacity then to take the full back on before throwing the ball inside.
Bradford have it. Well, only 2 points on the board, but it's been a lively beginning. Useful kick from Hobbs. It won't find touch, but it's made Bibb go a long, long way back. He's got a prodigious boot on him, as David Hobbs. Bibb tries to run between Barraclough and Pendlebury. There's no way through there. Bradford really have got injury problems, and Keith Mumby's going to come on already. Henjak's gotten off now. It's the last thing they wanted in the first 10 minutes of a final. Keith Mumby, they could hardly call on a more experienced campaigner. Wonderful servant to the club he's been. But David, what a start for Bradford. 2 points down, and within 10 minutes they're without two players.
Well, that's right, because Hamer has been most impressive as a prop forward in this very strong Bradford pack, and of course Henjak at half-back is such a crucial player. It'll be interesting to see exactly how they cope with the situation.
I think the thinking might be get them off early now to treat them and make sure that they can survive later in the match, rather than wait and risk it that they might not be able to come back on.
Yes, that's right. And of course with Keith Mumby, he's a player of tremendous, but over the years he's been for Bradford a servant. He's done so much good, and they most certainly won't lose anything by bringing him on.
Fairbank. Pendlebury and Fairbank playing it between themselves at the moment. Now Barraclough. Medley just clung on. Some of the crowd didn't like Smales' tackle. Good kick. What an astute little campaigner he is. Paul Harkin. There's plenty of horsepower going in there. And there you go, out comes the ball for Featherstone again. They're winning the scrums hands down at the moment. Bradford's trademark is their tackling, and they're doing plenty of that, but there he held him down in the tackle. Featherstone's penalty again. Just a little bit too strong was that pass. Nearly beheaded Derek Fox. Well, last season there was no shortage of points when these two teams met. Let's hope we have the same again. This is Bradford's ball. Now they've a chance. Simpson, who's got good blistering pace, trying to get it away. Still does to McGowan. Steve McGowan, who's a rangy runner. Good running, gets to the 25. Bradford just beginning to settle, perhaps. Harkin. Fairbank, who's always in close attendance when the try line's near. Through Barraclough's legs. Skerritt barges, turns at the same time. Harkin. Ooh, darting into that little gap. Hobbs. Simpson. Caught round the throat almost by Rapati, but the tackle was a good one. Now Pendlebury with the little kick through. It's easily taken. Smales it was who took it. Barraclough can't nail him. Now two of the others do. Medley piles in on top. Oh, the ball lost by Bell, and Bradford have it, and that could be critical to lose the ball there. With Bradford really coming now, firing on all cylinders. Pendlebury, Wilkinson going for the line. Strong tackling. Oh, he's still there, is he? Wilkinson stretches out, and the referee looks, and he's not quite made it. Rather concordal, surely. Oh. Well, you see just how close that chalk line is. Featherstone's tackling exemplary there. Wilkinson looked like a scorer. They'll keep trying though. Harkin, Simpson, still Simpson, gets it back now, and it's gone into a pair of Featherstone hands belonging to Glenn Booth. Well, Bradford literally inches away from the first try.
Well, very intriguing this, and it's interesting the pattern of play that we've seen so far. Just watch the ball come out. This is Bradford now. There's a little indecision here when Pendlebury. The defence move up quickly, but he comes in on the outside. Wilkinson is missed. Missed by the first one, second one. They don't go low. Cardinal sin in this game. He pushes the two of them off. It takes Derek Fox to hang on to him and pull him down an inch short of the line.
And what good refereeing by Robin Whitfield. He was right there. Paul Newlove, of course, what a marvellous moment for him last week to start a test match for the first time, and emulating his father now. Oh, Simpson committed the cardinal sin, took his eye off it.
Well, the pattern is quite obvious at the moment. Featherstone want to run the ball about. They're using Fox at half-back to get it out wide to stretch this big Bradford pack. But Bradford themselves now are starting to put it together and pushing down the middle and seeing that the Featherstone defence isn't quite what it ought to be.
Roger Simpson hoping to add to the one try he's got this year then, which was scored against Barrow. I think you'd see today's as rather a more important occasion. It's a penalty for Bradford. Scrum offence there by the hooker. Featherstone's dismal form in the league has been a bit of a mystery recently, having started the season quite well. To lose to Barrow last week really was a shock to the system. And here come Bradford once more. It's been all Bradford in the last 5 or 6 minutes. Skerritt! Oh, and he didn't need to do that. Not on the first tackle.
Well, this is the indiscipline we talk about. When you have a team plan, you've got to stick rigidly to it to start with anyway.
People seem a little bit too hurried to get rid of the ball at the moment. Jeff Gresham won't. Now they might be stretched. Simpson's trying to get to grips with Smales. The party sensibly cutting inside. There's certainly some pace on the field today. There's Gary Price, former Leeds man, of course. And Fox's kick. Right, it was a fantastic leg break. Looked for all the world as though that was going to go dead, and then just twisted and turned away.
But he is such a good player. You just have to see it when he passes the ball. He can take 2-3 men out with one pass, and that's why they're pushing it wide all the time and catching Bradford on the outside.
Can Bradford heel it? And Wilkinson certainly did the right thing by holding on there. Fairbank has it away to Harkin. Hobbs confronted immediately by 3 red and white hoop shirts. Skerritt again, such a powerful man, and firmly in Malcolm Reilly's Great Britain thinking now. That was loose. Wilkinson, an extraordinary kick. And Caudle had to be offside. He was standing in front of the man when he kicked the ball. I don't think he could stop himself picking it up.
Well, that all started badly at Bradford. I mean, the ball was passed out, nobody looked to want to take it. Then he went back to Wilkinson. He was totally undecided himself. Instead of running it, he decided to kick and then sliced it horribly, and of course Caudle has picked it up in an offside position.
That was uncharacteristic from Ian Wilkinson. It's more like his soccer days with Scunthorpe United, that kick. Fox. This is dangerous. Smales. Penalty. The ball knocked out of Smales' grasp while he was in possession. Referee Whitfield says you can't do that. And this surely will be 2 more points for Derek Fox. And that was indiscipline.
Yes, it was. I mean, Bradford, they're not together at all. It all stemmed from that movement when Wilkinson badly kicked the ball. Then they've got into an offside position. That then again was people answering back to referees.
And in fine sunlight at Headingley, Derek Fox has the chance to push Featherstone Rovers further in front. He takes it. The first 4 points of the game have all gone to the Rovers. although there have been no tries, there have certainly been plenty of opportunities at both ends. Rapati. Peter Smith trying to get away from Harkin. Well, I wonder how many times those two have come into conflict over the years. Fox along the line is Price. This is the last tackle, so you can expect Fox to kick. He does too, but this time he hasn't got it right. Well, even the best could make mistakes. Looking good at the moment for Featherstone, despite that record. 30 years on. Hobbs. A long way to go in the match, though. So many influential players on the field, like this man, Medley. That was a head tackle by Price, who acknowledges the fact. Paul Medley, the winner's medal last year, hoping for the same colour of medal this time. And I think Paul Medley will be pleased to get into the action as early as this. There's nothing more frustrating for a substitute than having to wait 60 or 70 minutes for a run.
Well, I think the idea of having him on the bench, of course, was when Hemo was on, is to wear down the Feathers inside. When the play then started breaking up, to have somebody with his immense pace.
Fairbank back for Barraclough. Barraclough's never scored for Bradford Northern. He's got 3 tries in his life, and they were all for Bramley. This is his biggest game. Medley. Featherstone's line is holding well, actually. We really have got to should have thrown that ball across then, though. Harkin. Thought of the reverse ball, it didn't come, so Fairbank tried for the gap, and it's the last tackle again. And Harkin tries to chip through. Was he obstructed? No, the referee says he wasn't. Well, we had controversy over the John Joyner try a couple of weeks ago when Castleford played Featherstone. And, well, the try's been given to Harkin. The try has been given to Harkin. For the obstruction, I thought that the referee was saying no to start with. So an obstruction try awarded to Bradford Northern's Paul Harkin, and the scores are level.
Well, he took it on himself. They've attacked quite a bit here, but there was no doubt about that at all. I mean, as soon as he kicked ahead, he was just shoulder charged by 2 players.
Trevor Clark was the offending defender. David Hobbs will surely send Bradford into the lead for the first time. It's Bradford Northern 6, Featherstone Rovers 4.
Look, this is the incident itself. He did put it through. He was no doubt about that. The 2 players did balk him. The referee had no hesitation in giving the penalty try under the post.
Well, that'll have done Bradford's confidence a whole world of good. Simpson. Well, it seems to have inspired Harkin, does that? And he's been man of the match in a Yorkshire Cup final before. He's a leading contender already again.
Well, he certainly is. He is a live wire. He does take people on himself. He does see when situations need being addressing, and he certainly gets amongst the action all the time.
and unlucky not to have more than one Great Britain cap. Featherstone again, heel it. Smales, good ball back for Newlove. Good tackle that from Fairbank. Nothing wrong, it was on the shoulder. And I suppose for neutrals in the crowd, the sympathies will probably be with the underdog, the little homespun side of Featherstone. But they're having the work cut out at the moment.
Well, they are, because where they was moving it out early, wide early on to get on the outside of it, they're coming down the middle now. And of course, when you have a pack as big and as strong as the Bradford pack, you don't get very far.
Rapati, though, has made a good run. Medley is the man to pin him down. Last tackle. So again, perhaps Fox will kick. He does. To the right this time, and Richard Francis, who I don't think has had his hands on the ball, has it now. He sets off down the middle. Now he's got good paces, Francis. Oh, and he just couldn't get away there from Newlove. Otherwise, it could have been a really spectacular score. Newlove's tackling again on Simpson. Out migration. Hobbs timed the pass well. Was knocked back. Oh, now the kick ahead. They're in trouble at Bradford now. Wilkinson must field it. And he gets away from Newlove as well. Now then, do we get a run from Ian Wilkinson? Well, he's gone beyond the 25. And 6 more tackles for Bradford because of Newlove's touch. Mumby, first time he's been in the thick of it. Medley. Fine tackle again by Gratian. He certainly does his tackling stint even at 40. Harkin, another kick. Is it going to go? Oh, it's touch and go is this one, but just kept in by Alan Banks. Bibb straightens up. Pendlebury's got him. Along with Barraclough. Now Fox, the longer one for Peter Smith. Now Drummond. Drummond, the first time we've seen this young man. Comes from the Dewsbury area. Well, we all remember Des Drummond. Here's Barry Drummond trying to make a name for himself as a right wing. Glenn Bell shouts a forward pass there. Referee didn't listen to them, so here's Fox. Clark. It's not often you take a pass while you're actually sitting down. And again, referee Whitfield says that that ball was illegally stolen. And Derek Fox will try to make the scores level again. Well, the captain thrives on responsibility. It's very, very straight kick is this one. And the repairs are completed to Glenn Booth. Just to Fox's left, but all eyes now on the posts. And Fox's kick sails through the middle. Then we're all back square again, 6-all. And all the points that Featherstone have scored have been down to Bradford's indiscipline. Yes,
it has really. Both sides haven't looked all that secure, but that was a very good kick again by Derek Fox. He's kicked 3 out of 3 now, and he will be well pleased with this performance.
Well, this is not what we want in rugby league. Unfortunately, we have a stoppage to play now. Some spectators seem to have got into a bit of a fracas, and the police have had to go into the crowd. This is a very unusual thing for rugby league.
I don't want to
Maybe there were just too many fans in there, but
I'm telling you.
and let's hope that they bring a swift conclusion to this. It means that Robin Whitfield has had to blow his whistle and momentarily call a halt to the proceedings, which must be unsettling as well for the players. Got to start all over again now.
Well, it's unusual, to say the least, that this should happen in a game of rugby league football, and I'm sure it will have an effect on both sides and the referee alike.
It's given Bradford time for a committee meeting. Well, Jeff Gratian won't like this either. He's steeped in his rugby league and he doesn't want any interruptions. What a marvellous career he's had. But been on the losing side in 3 Yorkshire Cup finals, hoping to redress the balance a little. This is very, very disconcerting, and now Derek Fox, the captain, has gone across to appeal to some of those Featherstone fans to say, calm down, please. It's disrupting the team. To keep moving around down there because it's a bitterly cold afternoon despite the sun. They really do not need stoppages of this kind. Referee Whitfield, having conferred with the police, I think he's now going to be able to restart the match, thank heavens, with about 6 minutes of the first half left. 6 minutes of normal time. So the game restarts. Just to remind ourselves, of course, Derek Fox has just kicked Featherstone level with his team's 3rd penalty goal. Clark, Fox. You see, that's the sort of thing that happens when a team has just lost a bit of concentration and rhythm.
That's certainly the case, because that was a superb pass out then, eye off the ball, perhaps not quite back into the swing of the game.
This scrum is about 30 yards from the Featherstone try line, and Bradford have it. They've got the only try of the match so far from this man Harkin. An obstruction try awarded to him, and he's gone again. And it would be great incentive for Bradford if they could just get another one before the break, and Barraclough plunges towards their line. He really looks as though he's trying to sniff out his first try for Bradford Northern today. Fairbank, who run into a red and white wall, surely. Kyle Fairbank has scored in the last 2 matches. Regular scorer, of course. Harkin again, he's there! Paul Harkin's done it again! His second of the match. And there was no stopping him that time anyway, legally or illegally. Well, he's got a right to wear his smile.
Well, he's been at the hub of most things all afternoon, as Harkin, and he's superb to have. He's probing again. Look, he breaks through 2 tackles, but it was woefully weak tackling by Featherstone Rovers.
Yes, I think Peter Fox will have had a lot to say about that. He's a wiry little chap. He's also very strong, but he should have been stopped. 2 tries for Harkin, 10 points for Bradford, and Hobbs will aim to make that 12. David Hobbs kicking his 5 goals here in the Test match for Great Britain against France. So he likes this ground, and he likes it even more now. 2 points for Bradford. It's 12-6.
Well, all the gaps are at acting half-back, and this is where the defence has to be at its best. But look, he catches them there, the 2 of them go in for the tackle, they both can't hold on to him, and he scores a deserved try.
And of all people to knock on, it's Paul Harkin. Well, he's certainly got a penchant for producing his best in cup finals.
Well, he's the sort of guy that knows what has to be done, and certainly he's geeing up this Bradford Northern side and bringing a little initiative to their play.
Here are Featherstone looking for a try of their own before the break. Newlove, Smales, another of the youngsters in the side, whose dad played, of course, for Rovers. Chris Bibb. And Bradford will know it's important to hold Featherstone now, up to the hooter. Slipped just before the tackle. 3 minutes to the break. Clark, Fox, little reverse ball for Price. Clark again and Fox. Surely chances here. Newlove, is he kept out? Yes, he is. They've held good, and that was important. It was on the 6th tackle. So once they've picked themselves up, Bradford should have the opportunity to run the ball out. The referee has said I think it's going to be a scrum after all that. There's a penalty for Featherstone again. Well, they've certainly had their share of penalties. That one's for feeding.
I think it's important that this Featherstone side have got to keep moving it out wide. I mean, that's when they are dangerous, when they push it out on the outside.
Bell first man up. Fox for Peter Smith. Peter Smith's there. He's done it again, and what an amazing record this man has. He's played in 3 Yorkshire Cup finals and he's scored in every one of them. And we're talking about more than a decade. He'd only got one try before this season. Great time for him to get his second.
Both scrum halves are the key figures here. And look at Fox, takes the defence across with him, draws everybody in, gives him enough room to run at the defence, and despite three men being there, his strength took him over.
Could there have been a more appropriate scorer? He's Featherstone through and through. There you are, scored in 76, 77 and now 89. 12 years between the last two finals, 13 years in all. So well done to Peter Smith, and if this one goes over, it'll be 12 apiece again. A rip-roaring final. More difficult angle for Fox, and he's missed it. So Bradford stay ahead. 12-10. It's a very different final to last year's.
Well, Bradford have moved it out, Featherstone have moved it out wide quite a bit here, but they brought it in close, and that's a change of tactic, and of course Bradford were caught out completely with that, and Smith crashes over.
Eva Rapati. I thought he was going to throw the ball out then, that could have been dodgy. They really just need to hold it now in the closing seconds of the half. There's nothing for being too adventurous in your own 25 at the moment. And there indeed is that hooter. So a good half. Bradford are just ahead, 12-10, but nobody would bet on the final outcome of this final.
Well, an exciting first half, both sides making chances, but both sides as well falling down in defence at the last minute, which has given opportunities to either side.
And so it's the experienced players who've got the tries. Paul Harkin 2 for Bradford, along with 2 David Hobbs goals. Peter Smith the try for Featherstone, 3 Derek Fox goals. It's going to be a cracking finish. Join us for that after the break. Welcome back to the John Smith's Yorkshire Cup final at Headingley. Bradford Northern and Featherstone, and it's Featherstone taking the field for the start of the second half. 2 points behind, 2 points in arrears. It's 12-10 to Bradford Northern. Let's hear from Peter Fox on the touchline.
Peter, you happy with that first half performance?
Yes, I think we've done tremendously well into this wind, and if it hadn't been for a referee interfering with the play and gave him 6 points, he'd got to be sure that man would have scored the try, and I don't see how he could have been sure to give him a penalty try under the post. We're very annoyed about that, but the lads have come back. We're still in the game. We've got a chance this half.
Smashing, thank you.
Well, controversial as ever. Interesting though, although I said a couple of weeks ago, of course, the same thing happened to them against with John Joyner for Castleford, but they won on that occasion. What did you think of it, quite honestly, David?
Well, I think that the man would have scored the try. Having had the opportunity of seeing it one or two occasions, there's no doubt at all about it. He was obstructed and obstructed badly.
Yes, we do have the benefit of the replay, of course, which Peter Fox didn't have. Good run from Barraclough, and Francis tackled by Newlove. Francis having his best season for Bradford Northern, and he's been with the club for a few years now. Harkin, the 2-try man. Hobbs, Medley, and Medley could be dangerous here because he's got the speed. Fox can't get him. The ball is out for Caudle. It's a try for Bradford Northern in the first minute of the second half. Gerald Caudle celebrates his first final in rugby league with the try, but it all came from Paul Medley's rampaging run.
Well, this is the first time really that Bradford have moved the ball out to 2, 3, 4 pairs of hands, and Madeley shook off the tackle, woeful tackling, and again Derek Fox coming across, can't quite get to him, and Medley on the burst is good, but look how well he draws the 2 men in, giving Caudle the ideal opportunity to cross. What a great try.
And due reward for Caudle, who thought he'd scored in the first half. What an important try that could be, taking Bradford 6 points clear. The last thing Featherstone wanted in the first minute of the half. Medley being applauded over on that far side. Will Hobbs win applause for the kick? I don't think so. And he knew from the moment the ball left the boot. But it was a good try. And it's 16-10 to Bradford Northern. A real kick in the teeth that for Featherstone.
Well, Bradford, despite leading, were not totally convincing in the first half. Although they were in the lead, they hadn't done really anything positive. This time they have. They'd moved it out. Medley showed up how insecure the defence is. Two men came in, drew him perfectly. Caudle on the outside, as all good wings should be, and scores a very good try for Bradford Northern.
Well, Bradford are still carrying the fight, and they've managed to get Carl Fairbank over into touch and David Hobbs. Oh, that's sloppy. Bradford took the scrums in the first half, just by the non-one against the head. And they actually conceded 5 more penalties than Featherstone. And Featherstone made 3 more errors, 7-4. But Bradford have another penalty now to add to their count. So Keith Mumby will pump this one towards the crowd in the main stand. He finds a good touch as well. Now this really is important. Featherstone, if they concede another try here, could be out of it, and Skerritt will charge at them. I don't fancy stopping him in full flight, I'll tell you. Medley, well, he's got his pecker up. Good moments these for Bradford Northern and their fans. Harkin. Play continues with Fairbank. Gets the ball away to Wilkinson now. Featherstone are really being stretched.
They are being stretched, but Bradford still not convincing when they're moving the ball. And once or twice in those situations, they were running into the man with the ball and not away from him.
Fairbank for Pendlebury. This is the last one. Harkin thinks for the kick through. Simpson's here. Simpson tries to get that ball. He was just beaten to it by Bibb. And some respite for Featherstone. Well played by Rapati. And Banks has a run. Oh, a good run too. Oof. Skerritt really dumped him. Fox, Bradford are up again on them. Gratian won't find much room now. Bradford have really come out on top of their job.
They certainly have. They've gone in at half-time. They've obviously seen what they weren't doing in the first half. They come up the second half and they're real fired up and getting stuck into this Featherstone side.
Featherstone still trying to run it to their credit. And now on the last tackle, Fox will have to give him some relief, and it hit a Bradford hand. Now the kick on by Bibb. It's going to come for Wilkinson. And the ball's knocked out of his hands, and that was all right, but Smith falls immediately to Hobbs' tackle. Neighbours almost in Featherstone. The crowd are warming to it too. Oh, and Medley. Fairbank it was, stole the ball. Medley was alongside him. Simpson stretches his legs. Bradford have it just when they want it. Richard Francis goes for that line, and Francis trying to wriggle out of Price's tackle. Bradford are really on song at the moment. Hobbs a rampaging run and a ball inside for McGowan. The tackle by Jeff Gratian just had to be made, and it was. Now Wilkinson gets it away. McGowan is a rangy runner. Terrible moments for Featherstone Hearts. It's all Bradford at the moment, and Fairbank is there. Oh, he's got the ball inside, and it's dropped. Skerritt it was, and nobody would have stopped Kelvin Skerritt if he'd caught that one.
Well, that was certainly a first-class opportunity for Skerritt to have scored then. He took his eye off the ball because he was held up well by Fairbank for him. He only had to take that ball and go under the post, and what a killer that would have been.
Certainly would, but Featherstone are still alive. They have the ball out of the scrum. Fox really has to marshal the forces now. And I think they're finding the weight of the Bradford pack a bit heavy here against them. And it is a mighty pack.
It is, and that's why I couldn't understand when the first half they were moving the ball out wide and getting some success early on in the game. They changed their pattern of play, started bringing in a little bit, and of course that's all that's done really, is given plenty of time and opportunity for the Bradford pack to really settle down and get stuck into them.
And Fox is groggy at the moment, receiving treatment. Ooh, Drummond only just held that pass. Last tackle, and they've not made much ground with the first 5. And they haven't got Fox to kick for them now, and Medley almost charged that down. Medley, of course, who did exactly that in the semi-final against Halifax and scored, did his job again. Fairbank, Mumby, Medley once more. He really wants to run all the time, Medley now. 4 more tackles to come. Harkin for Wilkinson, and you really feel that Featherstone are hanging on by the skin of their teeth at the moment. Hobbs. It's McGowan going, and McGowan is not there. Oh, he was so close.
Well, there were 2 great pieces of play in that. What a superb ball by Hobbs, right out on the wing. Just watch now how Bradford move it out wide here. Hobbs then doors the pass. Look at that, that's a superb. Took 3 players completely out of the game, but what a marvellous tackle then by Bibb, because he stopped him in the corner, a yard from the line.
It was a marvellous tackle, and now Fox, who's fit again, leads Featherstone out. Clark. Well, fortune favoured the brave there with that pass out to Bell. Sort of thing you were talking about though, David, moving that ball wide. And Fox flings a long one now for Smith. Now there's plenty of people in this attack. Oh, and that was a poor pass, but Drummond has it. Inside Rapati. He's trying to get past Simpson and chips it only into the hands. And he's still going. He kept his feet inside in play there, did Francis. Francis preferred to the Australian Graham Mackay. Long ball from Harkin for Hobbs. McGowan again strides out of the tackle. He's got Cordle outside him, gives the pass, and Cordle can't take it this time. And Featherstone are trying to take Glenn Bell and Glenn Booth off. There you see 10 and 12 the numbers, and so Alan Dakin and Andy Fisher will get their chances. Peter Fox is always in the background with plenty to say. Come on lads, he says, get us back into this match. Because they've hardly been in the Bradford half.
No, they haven't. I was surprised at Peter when he said he was quite pleased with the first half, because I thought that perhaps they should have stuck to their plan in the first few minutes of moving the ball out wide. They didn't, and really they've allowed Bradford to creep back into the game and of course take command.
Smith, now Clark. Trevor Clark's given a few thrills on this ground in his time for Leeds. They need something now to Featherstone. Gratian and Fox. And Fox tried to burrow his way through Barraclough's tackle. This is better from Featherstone Rovers. Smith. Bibbs up here. And he's got some tries this season as Bibb. Picked up by Smales. On the last tackle. This is dangerous. And Fox, oh, he only just clung on. There's his kick. Newlove must have been offside. Down it, he says. Still thought he'd put the ball down in any case. That's what you call playing to the whistle.
But a good player, wasn't he, Derek Fox? I mean, he knew then he just nearly dropped the pass, and he still found something else to do with it. Watch, I mean, he's lost it now. It's all gone from him completely. But instead of dying with the ball, he delicately chips it through. Unfortunately, of course, Newlove was too far in front of the ball.
Here's Skerritt. He'd love to make his mark in this game, I think. Harkin feinted for the inside pass, then gave it to Medley. Simpson. They almost took him apart. So Wilkinson kicks. That's all right. That was good play from Banks. Oh, it's a good storming run too. There's no lack of endeavour in this match. Fox's pass. Oh, and Smith, how did he get that ball away? There are chances here, all right. Newlove for Featherstone still. He's 2 men inside him. Newlove looks to give it to Drummond. And Bradford's tackling in the end was good, but a penalty is awarded against Ian Wilkinson for stealing the ball. Strong running again from Newlove.
But what a difference in this Featherstone side. They've introduced 2 substitutes. They are now starting to move the ball out wide. Despite the supremacy of the Bradford pack, they are moving it out wide and making inroads in the defence. Newlove, obviously delighted by his selection as centre of the Great Britain side, his dances inside 1, inside 2. Unfortunately, he decided to go a little too far and the movement was killed.
The tide could just be turning again. If Skerritt had held on to that pass a few minutes ago, Bradford might have been out of Featherstone's reach. Now Derek Fox has the chance to cut the deficit to just 4 points. And he hasn't taken the chance. It hit both uprights, that. Certainly hit the far upright and then came forward, so Bradford clinging on. That was important though, because it meant Bradford got the ball. And again they look to the big boot to get that ball upfield. It's not got into touch though. Fox had no one to give it to particularly there. Substitute Andy Fisher. Featherstone have got 2 forward substitutes. That's nothing new in Peter Fox's planning though. Offside given. Another penalty for Featherstone. And this time they elect to put the ball into touch. 6 points will be so much better than 2.
That's right, they've really now got to keep the pressure on. They've really got to push forward all the time.
It's the old warhorse, Jeff Gratian. Always happy to be first man up. Fox now. Sells one dummy. Almost sold another. Still he won't let go of the ball. Four more tackles for Featherstone to try and get their try. That was Alan Dakin, who didn't know he was playing until shortly before the game when Mark Napper reported he wasn't fit. Smith, Smales looking for a gap anywhere along that Bradford line. He didn't find it, so Clark. Fox again with a long pass out. Banks tried to get it. Here's Rapati. And desperate defending from Bradford. A polite inquiry from Paul Harkin, and I think he saw it. Fair enough, he said. That's good to see. The referee talking to the player and a smile at the end of it all. And he didn't feed that scrum. It was important for Brentford, he didn't too. All of a sudden it's Featherstone in the ascendancy. But I've got to say, a masterful substitution by Peter Fox.
Well, it was really. It's injected a little more life into them, and they've now gone across a pattern of moving the ball out wide all the time, running at this Bradford defence, and Bradford are now looking suspect in defence.
And one other important factor, David, is that since the 10th minute, of course, Bradford have been without both Hamer and Henjak. We don't know whether they're going to be able to come back on, so they might be stuck with these 13 players, so to speak.
That's right, yes, it is. The two substitutions to them must have unsettled them, but they came out in the second half really fired up. But they've been taken a little back on their heels now with this revived sort of Featherstone effort.
Interesting that Mumby rather than Hobbs kicks for touch. And finds it. And here again they'll ask Skerritt to run at Featherstone. And he'll always do that. Always willing. Hobbs' turn. It's the sort of time where they might be thinking of a drop goal as well from someone like Harkin and Pendlebury. There is Harkin trying to find Fairbank in a gap. Now Barraclough just held on to the ball and Clark just held on to him. This is better for Bradford. Skerritt again. Medley, the pass is out for Caudle, and Gerald Caudle, no, he's got a foot in touch again. That's the second time in the match. A rueful smile from Caudle, who accepts the decision, and the touch judge was over there.
Well, Bradford, once they get a foothold in the camp, could show that they can move the ball as well, and this is superb drawing of the man in the pass, and Caudle going down the touch, and the ref, yes, there was no doubt at all about it. The mark is the other side of the line.
Well, those two touch judges, Stan Jackson and Tony Palmer, have been heavily involved today, haven't they? Oh, Skerritt's forced his own man over the line. It's almost like an own try. Well done, says Harkin to the big man. It can't be very pleasant having Kelvin Skerritt knocking you flying over your own line.
He really has played well. I've advocated for a long time that what a good player he is. He comes on the burst, he runs full weight and strength.
What a clever bit of football that was. It wasn't the normal dropout, he just chipped the ball ahead and Featherstone actually got it. Good thinking from Fox. He's there now. And good tackling from Medley twice, but Smith has it away to Rapati. And Rapati's swift. Good ball inside. No, it wasn't. And Caudle might get one this time. Caudle kicks ahead, goes for the corner, he's got to fall on it. Caudle scores for Bradford Northern. His second try. He's in the air, he's in the arms of his fellow players. What a dream Yorkshire Cup final it's turning out to be for the big Welshman. His cousin was a county cricketer for Glamorgan, Tony Caudle, but Gerald is the man who's made his mark today.
Well, he kicked ahead. This is from enterprising play by Featherstone. They really had to run it back out. Caudle slipped on the mistake, kicked the ball ahead, and look how well he controls it just before the line. A cool head, a great try.
And kitman Fred Robinson is at David Hobbs' side with the sand. Difficult kick for David Hobbs. And it's only just wide. It wasn't a bad effort at all. But it's the furthest that either side has been in front. Bradford Northern 20, Featherstone 10. Can you see a way back for Peter Fox's men, David?
Well, it's going to be very difficult for him. Saying if I can see the way back, there is a way back, of course, if they move the ball out wide and really take on the Bradford defence. But the more and more they sit back and don't do that, then obviously Bradford will take control of the game completely. And 20 points in the lead must give them the incentive now.
20 points to 10. Simpson. Wilkinson skipping out of a couple of tackles. There's Hobbs' kick. Slightly misjudged that one, but picks it up now. And he's got 4 Bradford men surrounding him. Newlove. And much of Featherstone's hopes perhaps rest on him. And Fox. Gratian along the line is Smith. Squeezes his pass out to Banks. Bradford really will tackle anything now. Oh, this is a dangerous game they're playing. And they left his man injured there, but here come Featherstone. They want a quick retort. It's Newlove. He's trying to give them it. And he was looking for a party. Bibb. This is the last one. Fox with a little kick through. It's gone dead. Oh, pace has never slackened. Good tackle on Skerritt. I wonder how popular David Hobbs will be in Featherstone tonight if Bradford win. It's where he lives, of course. Fairbanks ball. Pendlebury juggled. Harkin takes it on now. Stops, twists, turns. Bradford momentarily down to 12 men. Keith Mumby is the injured player. Corder's kick. There you can see the treatment being administered. Oh, Simpson, and it's going to be another kick ahead. Now then, can Francis emulate Corder's achievement? Just going to go the wrong side of that corner flag for him. Well, it means he's found a touch actually inadvertently.
I think that's always one of the dangers when you're behind like that. You try and make up the ground as quickly as you possibly can. You take a few risks, and that certainly was a risk. And Bradford nearly came away with another score.
And I think tragically a stretcher has been called for, and it's Keith Mumby who's injured. And this is unfortunate. Of all people, Keith Mumby, such a marvellous player for Bradford Northern over about 16 years. He's been a man of the match in a Yorkshire Cup final as well as Keith Mumby. I don't think the club has ever had a more popular player. He certainly should have won more Great Britain caps than he did do.
Yes, he certainly has been a credit to the game. One of the possibly unsung heroes, really, is Keith Mumby. He does everything properly, tackles very well, kicks very well. And how unfortunate it is to see him carried off here today.
One can hope the injury isn't as serious as perhaps they fear at the moment. And he will certainly get a sympathetic round of applause. Hopefully from both sets of fans. is in there, and where is it coming out? Harkin's diving in, and Harkin has it for Bradford. It's one against the heel, and Harkin's going for a hat-trick, and he's a yard short. And this is really dangerous now. If Bradford can string this one together, they could finish Featherstone off. Another try now would surely seal the Yorkshire Cup. Fairbank. Barraclough. Another 3 tackles to try and get this try. And Cordler's switched wings. And if they fling that ball over, Hobbs decides to kick, and Fox said thanks a lot for that one. Oh, Bibb got the one away for Clark there. That was really passed well into space, and Mueller continues the attack. It's a dangerous pass flung out by Smith to Fox. Useful chip through. Francis is back now in that position now. Francis looks slightly hurt. So Bradford have really had their injury problems on this day. Hamer was first to go off, then Henjak went off, now Mumby's off, they're down to 12 men, and Francis is injured. They could be down to 11. And they're still making some space. Henjak, in fact, has come back on. Well, we hear that Keith Mumby has a torn groin, so maybe it's not as bad as at first feared. Here's a chance for Featherstone if Newell can make inroads. Just under 10 minutes to go, and a really uncharacteristic mistake from Derek Fox. Barraclough spins away. He's worked so hard in the loose as the hooker. He's a good deputy for Brian Noble, who's out injured, of course, at the moment. Sure, he'd love to be out there in the thick of things. Hobbs. Referee Whitfield said he lost the ball there. So what's the question of where am I then as he got up, I think? Well, we've heard a lot about Welshmen in this game, people like Jonathan Davis and all these other top stars, but Gerald Cordell, David, has really made an impression.
He certainly has. He's had 2 disallowed tries today. He scored 2 tries, and he's been very close to having another one as well. And for this first cup final, he'll be more than pleased with his performance this afternoon.
Bradford's ball, Harkin, and Wilkinson's making a strong run, so is Harkin himself. I think he's got his mind on that White Rose Trophy and a 3rd try. Henjak. McGowan. I've no doubt Cordell will be thinking of a 3rd try as well. It's very much a team game. Bradford lose it. So Chris Bibb. Smith. This is a good passing movement until then. Oh, the ball was knocked back though, so they can carry on. Bibb's found some ground, he's found some space. What a good run from Chris Bibb. Confronted now by Wilkinson. But that was a good 30 yards that the fullback made for Featherstone. They certainly haven't given up, and of course none of Peter Fox's sides ever would do. They've got some room now for Newlove maybe, trying to cut inside Simpson. And Pendlebury. Such a durable lad. No wonder they say he's got a colossal future in this game. Banks for Smith. His kick. It's probably going to be just too long. But you've got to be impressed by Paul Newlove, David.
Oh, he's a fine player, and the confidence he's now got, obviously, from being capped by Great Britain has only gone towards even improving him even further. But what a marvellous player. He runs well, he always looks to see where people are in support of him, and he's a strong boy at the same time.
Tell you what, this lad Barraclough has had a terrific game at hooker.
Superb. He's taken everything forward, he's done everything that's been asked, he's tackled very well and followed everything up, and he's had a good performance, and they haven't missed Brian Noble that much this afternoon, if at all.
Medley's still going. Oh, he takes some stopping as well. He's like a wild bull. Henjak. Hobbs. Simpson took it. It wasn't an easy one to take either, and he gets the ball away for Pendlebury. Bradford trying to keep it moving now. They're looking to stretch them. Wilkinson tries to cut inside. Still Wilkinson. So perhaps Harkin will kick now. No, but Hobbs will. He's gone for the drop goal, and he's missed it. Well worth the try, of course. 10 points the margin. That would have made it 11. There's no way through again for Fox. But he's been a marked man in this second half. Five minutes to go. That's a bit of injury time, of course, particularly for when Keith Mumby had to be taken off on that stretcher. How did Fox hold that one? Smith. Newlove, he's seen a lot of the ball in this second half. Newlove, he could set up a grandstand finish. Simpson does the tackling job. Drummond to Smith. Smith to Bibb. Still here with Fox. Now with Clark. Fox again. Going through the hands. Featherstone have a great chance to score. What a chance spurned that was. And with that, you really feel that Featherstone might have blown it.
Well, that's right, but Derek Fox is incredible. He has glue, I think, stuck on his hands because he catches everything. But not only does he catch it, he can also deliver the pass at the same time. Quite superb when they moved that out then. Unfortunate the ball went to ground again, and that's really been the problem this last few minutes with the Featherstone side. They put too many passes down at the last moment.
Bradford win a scrum in their own 25. Strength again, although the ball was lost eventually. It's Fairbank. There comes Banks. but it doesn't matter. They didn't actually lose the possession, so it's the 6th tackle once more. Featherstone have managed only 1 try all afternoon. And they haven't got one this time. Wilkinson gets out from behind his own try line as well. But I think 4 tries to 1 really does tell the story of the day, David.
Well, yes, it does. Featherstone haven't really finished off. They've started many movements there. They've moved the ball quite well, but they really haven't had the finishing power. Bradford, cool, calm, collected at times, but have really had the final punch and the final try, and that's made the difference in the 2 sides.
And they're looking for something else now. Hobbs using all his experience, kicks ahead, and what a marvellous kick to produce at a time like this.
Well, that's why they're marshalling well. Harkin at half-back, they knew what he wanted. They didn't want to be beating their heads against forwards coming at them. They wanted to get up and out of there. The further away from their own line, the more opportunity they've got of pegging Featherstone back.
Featherstone still have to try and move it. That's what they've done for Drummond. Tackled by Henjack and Simpson and McGowan. Substitute Dakin gets the ball inside. Jeff Gratian, he'll keep going, and so will Fox. Clark inside, Bibb, he's a sprightly runner. Still Featherstone are looking for that second try. This is Rapati. He's kept going too, Gratian. And what it would be if Jeff Gratian could get one. Gratian saying before the match that he does regard having played on a winning Yorkshire Cup final side, although he didn't figure in the replay for Bradford when they won it a couple of years ago. He's played in a lot of losing cup finals, and now it's Bibb's turn to kick ahead, and a penalty awarded to Featherstone. They were rather hoping for a try, I think, in the same way that Bradford got one in the first half. Obviously some of the Featherstone fans do not appreciate Mr Whitfield's decision. They've got this penalty close to the Bradford line. Derek Fox telling those spectators to get away. And the crowd who hate to see this sort of thing in the game telling them to, in no uncertain terms. So we're into injury time. Featherstone at least get the last try. They're trying hard enough. Fox, Price, and I think Rapati might. Has Rapati made it? Oh, he has. A try then for Eva Rapati right at the end of the game. So some consolation at least for Featherstone. They might not be going to win the Yorkshire Cup.
Well, they've never given up. They've battled away all afternoon. They've continued now to throw this ball about. They have found the Bradford defence to be vulnerable at times, and that is a just reward for a fine effort of movement.
It might just have come too late. But a memorable moment for Eva Rapati, one of the New Zealand brothers. Certainly will add a little to the excitement if Derek Fox, looking a little battle-worn, can put this one between the posts. He can't, it's across the face. So Bradford are still 6 points clear. The hooter sounds! The Yorkshire Cup has gone to Bradford Northern. 20 points to 14. Well, November the 5th is always a day to remember in the year, and it's one to remember certainly for Bradford Northern. The Bradford team surrounded by their fans, although there was an appeal for the spectators not to swarm onto the pitch. Unfortunately, they've not heeded that. But those are the day's winners. And I don't think, David, that you really could argue with it. 4 tries to 2.
Well, they deserved their win at the end of the day, but what a fine performance by Featherstone. They never gave up. They played the football that I was hoping they would continue to do after that opening spell. But Bradford proved in the end that with their strength and their strong running forwards, it was inevitable that the defence wouldn't hold them out.
So a couple of tries in each half for Bradford. Harkin got 2 in the first half. Caudle in his first cup final got 2 in the second half, and there were 2 goals as well for Hobbs. And Featherstone's points made up of tries from Peter Smith and from Rapati, with 3 goals by Derek Fox. And Bradford's captain, David Hobbs, goes up to receive the Yorkshire Cup from Mr. Martin Loades, John Smith's Free Trade Sales Director. The Yorkshire Cup is Bradford Northern's again for the 12th time in their club history. The club's flag is hoisted, the trophy is hoisted. But for Featherstone Rovers, it's now 10 appearances and still only 2 wins. Gerald Caudle and Paul Harkin, the 2 men in your picture, scored all the tries on the day. And what a proud moment to savour for the Welshman, who actually walks away with the trophy. And, well, David Watkins is alongside me. And who would you say should be the man of the match and the winner of the White Rose Trophy, David?
Well, it's a man who's making a habit of it, Paul Harkin. Such an inventive player with flair, and a supreme opportunist, as he shows by breaking through the Featherstone defence to score one of his 2 tries this afternoon.
Now a round of applause for a game that did so much this afternoon. Featherstone Rovers.
So a disconsolate Featherstone Rovers side, led by, I'm sure, a bitterly disappointed captain, the hard-working Derek Fox. Peter Smith behind him, who always gives absolutely everything for his hometown club. And one can only feel sadness as well for the likes of Jeff Grosjean.
Once again, reminding you all, enjoy the celebration, but keep calm. Thank you.
Gallant losers, no question about that. There is Jeff Grosjean, and how nice to see he's still smiling, he's still enjoyed his Sunday afternoon rugby league, even though it's yet another loser's medal for him. It's a first trophy of the season for Bradford Northern. I hope there'll be more on the way.